بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
So the next thing, we'll try to see the registration of the vSmart. Now the vSmart registration is almost the same as we did with the vBond. So the first step, we need to add the vSmart to the vManage and then view the certificate and request the certificate and download that certificate and install to that. So probably the same steps, no need to explain, it's the same thing what we did. So the first thing, we go to the configuration, and under the configuration, we need to go back to the devices. And from the devices, we need to verify what are the controllers available. So we have vManage and the vBond. We are going to add another controller that is going to be vSmart. So once we click on vSmart, then probably it is going to ask me the IP address of the vSmart. And if you remember, we already configured the basic IP addressing on the transport VPN. Provide the IP address of the vSmart and the password, admin password, and then you can just click on this generate CSR. This will automatically generate the CSR for the vSmart, and click on add. Now, once I do this, I should see the vSmart is not installed. The certificate is not installed as of now. So what we'll do is we'll send the CSR of the vSmart to the CS server. So in the step 2, we need to go back to our configuration and get back to our certificates. And from the certificates, we need to select the controller tab. And from the controller, we are going to the vSmart and click on the vSmart and view the CSR, because the CSR already generated. So I'm going to copy this CSR and we are going to copy this, and then we'll go back to the CS server and ask the CS server to sign this one. Okay, so get back to the CS server, our Microsoft CS server homepage. And from the homepage, we need to click on request a certificate. And we are going to the advanced certificate request option and paste the CSR of your vSmart and click on submit. Now, once you submit, the request ID will be 4. So we need to get back to our CA authority. If you remember the options, we need to go back here and check the pending request. And from the pending request, we need to make sure that we issue the certificate request 4. So issue this one. Now, once you issue, then you will see all the issued certificates will be present inside this tab 2, 3, and 4. So I should also see 4 here. Now, once we do this, the next step is we need to get back to the home page. And what we'll be doing is we need to download this certificate now. Now, for downloading the certificate, again, we'll be using the view status of the pending certificate request and then select this request. That's a pending. So we need to download this certificate here. So save this one. And this will be present in your download folder. So we are going to rename this one with the vSmart cert. Now, once we do this, the next step, we need to open this with a notepad and we'll copy this one. Copy this code, the certificate code. And once we copy this, the next step is we need to go back to the vManage, right? And there we need to install this certificate. Because once the identity certificate is being issued by the CA, now we need to install this inside the vManage. So how to install this? We need to navigate to the configuration and certificates. We are already inside that. Now we need to click on this install certificate and copy, paste the code and click on install. Now, once this is done, so what I should see is the certificate process will be installed. So if I go back to my configuration and certificates, Now, once we are done with this, I should see the certificate should be installed on this one. So let's go back to the controllers and verify the status of the certificates. So this is the certificates, and you can see the vBond is updated, and this is also updated. So here you can see the option something like this. So this is what we need to do. So the basic process is we need to make sure that the certificates are installed, the identity certificates are installed, which are being issued by the CA. So in our case, the Windows server is acting as my CS server, which is going to send an identity certificate. Of course, there will be a separate CSR for each controller, and this CSR need to be signed, and then you need to install those things on the individual controllers. So this is something you need to do before you start the controllers talking to each other or communicating with each other.